Hello, and welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Einstein. Thank you all for joining me again today for today's reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. Looking forward to it. September's been a pretty great month so far. It changed gears pretty hard in the beginning, but I'm really liking the direction it's taking. Talking about thoroughness and just really an urgency, procrastination, and all of these things. And I'm looking forward to what today brings, that's for sure. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning that this will be the first time that I hear or read this podcast or this meditation right here on the podcast with you. So you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. So I'm looking forward to it. So here we go. This is September 13th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. The cause of the common lack of thoroughness lies in the thirst for pleasure. Yep, I agree with that already. Every employer of labor knows how difficult it is to find men and women who will put thought and energy into their work and to do it completely and satisfactorily. Bad workmanship abounds. Thoughtless carelessness and laziness are such common vices that it should cease to appear strange that, in spite of social reform, the ranks of the unemployed should continue to swell. For those who scamp their work today will another day in the hour of deep necessity look and ask for work in vain. The law of the law of the survival of the fittest is one aspect of the divine equity which everywhere prevails. And the thoughtless and lazy cannot take precedence of or stand equally with the thoughtful and industrious. The mind that is occupied with pleasure cannot also be concentrated upon the perfect performance of duty. Well, if this isn't a punch in the gut, um, though it's not like I don't believe this. This is a very true statement. It's something that I wholeheartedly agree with, unequivocally, honestly. I just when you have it put so plainly and in such a way that you're not you can't hide behind anything else. I mean, it cuts right through it, cuts you to the quick. So, um, I think I do a lot better with this. Also, I have to say, but pleasure is such a distraction. So it's we value it so high in this society and culture, well, at least in the one I live in. So, um, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll go through this one by one. So the opening line. The cause of the common lack of thoroughness lies in the thirst for pleasure. We just want to feel good. We just want to do those things that are going to make us feel the ways we want to feel, make us not think about what's going on, make us take us out of ourselves. I guess it makes you ask the question, maybe not the question, but is putting the societal value placed on feeling good, is that appropriately placed? And I'm going to have to say no. I think we should all feel good and pleasureful and this and that all the time in all areas of our life. I think is a false narrative. I don't like admitting that because I've pursued that life for a long time, and I still like to. It still stumbles across my living. It's a character defect of mine, but I think it's true. When you value feeling pleasure, a lot of things get muddled. A lot of things get thrown to the wayside. A lot of things don't get done because you're just running through something, trying to get to the end of something so you can feel better and complete what you got to complete. So you get the sense of achievement, or so you can just get it out of the way so you can go do whatever it is you want to do and feel good about yourself. It's the cause of the common lack of thoroughness lies in the thirst for pleasure. I wonder if we can change that. I wonder if that's something that can be devalued. I mean, I'm not saying we have to feel like crap all the time, but I don't think it should be our number one value is to feel pleasured. So, right now, on the main body of the reading, here is every employer of labor knows how difficult it is to find men and women who will put thought and energy into their work and do it completely and satisfactorily. It's true. It's so true. Okay, well, I'll say the perspective coming from someone who is employed, who's worked at multiple locations, things like that, who's been one of the people that isn't it, or wouldn't put thought and energy into their work. I just did it because that's what I was needed to do to make money. That's what they told me to do. That's what I thought was my life's um, circus or circuit. Do this job, get through it, so you can go do what you want to do afterwards. So you can go feel good and do things you wanted to do. That's so coming from that, I've seen the amount of people because I can relate to them. I see them that were under the same mindset, which is so many, almost all. So this has got to be true. Every employer of labor knows how difficult it is to find men and women who will put thought and energy into their work and do it completely and satisfactorily, not half-assing things, not subpar, not even just getting by. Find men and women who will take pride in the work they're doing, whether they feel good or passionate about it or not, right? That's where we're at. The next sentence, 3 words. Bad workmanship abounds. Yep, yes it does. Thoughtlessness, carelessness, and laziness are such common vices that it should cease to appear strange that, in spite of social reform, the ranks of the unemployed should continue to swell. For those who scamp their work today, another day in the hour of deep necessity, look and ask for work in vain. Thoughtlessness, carelessness, and laziness are such common vices that it should cease to appear strange that, in spite of social reform, the ranks of the unemployed should continue to swell. I think that's been a problem in the United States for a very long time. Everyone's like, "Oh, give them jobs and this and that," which is all true. Their jobs need to be available for people to take them first and foremost. But even, and this doesn't even apply to only the unemployed. I believe this applies to most of the working class of folks, so the people that work as well. That this laziness, thoughtlessness, and carelessness just abound. It's almost expected that someone's going to be that way. Companies are built under the idea and assumptions that people will just take these roads. They have to compensate for it now, which is kind of amazing if you think about it, isn't it? It's kind of mind blowing to think a company's hiring. large numbers of people have to account for laziness and carelessness and thoughtlessness of their employees, of their labor force. This isn't just of those that are unemployed. But the more these vices grow, the more people that don't want to work, the more people don't care about their work. It's the progression of things like this. I've seen it firsthand. Now, the law of the survival of the fittest is one aspect of the divine equity which everywhere prevails. I mean, when he says everywhere prevails, every area of life, every aspect of life, whether it's working, whether it's living, breathing, all of this stuff, everywhere it prevails. Survival of the fittest. The thoughtless and lazy cannot take precedence of or stand equally with the thoughtful and the industrious. They just can't keep up. The discipline isn't there. The progress isn't there. The people that practice this thoughtfulness and this industriousness and urgency in their work too. Let's not forget about that. They will always rise above. They will always be ahead of the game, quote unquote. Those who actually put the effort in. Those who take the time to care about what they're doing. It'll always win out. Kind of an amazing thought, honestly. Excuse me. Had to yawn there. All right, now for the closing thought here. The mind that is occupied with pleasure cannot also be concentrated upon the perfect performance of duty. And James Allen, in a couple of his books, actually talks about the performance of duty and how important it is that all of it should be done to the best of your ability and as promptly as possible, whatever's presented in front of you, regardless of whether you're passionate about it or invested in it. Do the duty you are assigned to and that you've willfully accepted, by the way, in your job description. Is so crucial to a life of fulfillment. Going home knowing you did the job you're supposed to be doing as well as you can do it, effectively as you could do it without laziness or shirking your responsibilities. It gives someone a sense of fulfillment. It just does. I believe it. I've experienced it. So the mind that is occupied with pleasure cannot be concentrated on the perfect performance of duty. If we're just thinking about what we're going to do later to feel good, getting drunk, getting high, going to see that person we're interested in seeing, the excitement of that, or gambling, sex, food, vacation, all of that stuff just distracts us from what we're doing right now. And we start to rely on those things to escape our lives rather than to feel as though they're a rejuvenating experience in our life to be enjoyed. We're not even present because when we use vacations to escape from our lives, all we think about is how it's going to end. We can't even be present in the moments for our vacation. It's just a extended period of worry and anxiety for many. So, excuse me, focus and be thorough on what's right in front of you. All the small things. We talked about even the smallest things matter. Do them thoroughly with the utmost attention and singleness of mind. And apply that with everything. And see how your life starts to change. This is one of those principles and those disciplines that will start to change your life almost immediately. Like starting to be honest. Things will change. And it's amazing. So, All right, well, that's where we're going to end tonight. That's the end of the reading, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So thank you all for joining me again for tonight's reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations, and I will be back again tomorrow. So until next time, thanks.